flight parts activated. This is day 3, and it feels like I wake up high on cocaine. It feels like I wake up in that manic type state, and nothing I do helps to decrease that intensity. Yoga worsens it. Even if I go very, very slowly and I don't have sound stimulating me and I'm moving slowly and I'm focused on my breath, it just regulates me worse. If I pick up my cat and I'm just like, okay, just create a moment of tender stillness and just be here and be gentle, it doesn't happen. I'm just like, I lose control. It's like I just want to squeeze him so tightly and I just want to bury my face in him. And of course he's like, let me go, Ma. And so like when I set him down, I realized I was full body trembling and dripping sweat just from holding my cat and getting excited about holding him. And so this sympathetic nervous system dysregulation is extremely intense, and it's different with flight parts compared to fight parts, even though they're both in the sympathetic nervous system dysregulation aspect, similar like neurochemicals and everything going on. I thought it would be very similar, but dramatically different. And that has to do with the way the survival instincts are wired, because flight parts will need to be able to run as fast and as far as possible to get to safety. Fight parts are going to need to have like physical stamina to tolerate pain and to have strength to combat in a fight. And so for flight parts, they have higher substance tolerance, whereas fight parts have a higher pain tolerance. And flight parts feel a lot of anxiety in terms of restlessness and like, psychomotor agitation, and I just need to go, and just restlessness and impulsivity and just that high energy, fast-paced moving kind of a thing. And like the muscles in the legs cannot feel fatigue. They are literally incapable of feeling tired, and that gets dangerous because I can really injure myself when I'm this disconnected from the body. But with fight parts, they're much more like irritable, agitated, angsty, frustrated, and so instead of it being this high energy, it's this kind of a vibration internally. And so the energy of it is different, and what works to ground is different. What works to ground fight parts doesn't work for flight parts. And so we're at this whole weird place of like, what do I do? Because anything I do is just worsening my dysregulation, but I don't want to sit around and do nothing. So we're trying to figure this out. We created a couple videos for Healing Journey Homeschool yesterday, 2 specific videos for grounding flight parts. So we're going to go maybe check those out again. But just noticing how the body goes into that fragmented state of survival. Like I'm just in a flight capacity right now. I have no capacity to fight. I have no capacity to submit. I have no capacity to freeze. I have no capacity to be a going on with normal life self. I have no capacity to focus and stay still and engage my brain. I have no capacity to exercise without injuring myself. And so it's a lot of like very unique, specific things living with this fragmentation of consciousness due to tertiary structural dissociation. And so I want to explore more specifics, if at all possible, in my research or with the case study with my chiropractor, about the specific aspects in the body with each individual type of part of consciousness. Because fight, flight, freeze, and submit, or fawn, all have specific things that happen in the body in order for the brain to survive. And those individual parts of consciousness have those attributes. And if we can learn about those, it's going to provide a whole new level of understanding and awareness and, acceptance and insight and, power to work through to healing for all of these different individual parts of consciousness. And yeah, I'm excited to explore that more because it is so specific, and it is specifically in relation with survival instincts. And so it's actually really fascinating to kind of think in a very humorous manner. Just want to preface it with that. The point is to make light of the struggles so that I can move through them with less intensity. It's not to diminish the severity of it by any means, but it can humor me to think about animals in nature, and I'm like, if they grew up and had a consciousness, they'd be like me. Like, oh, I'm being a normal life person. Oh, I all of a sudden feel the need to run really fast, really far, but because I'm not actually needing to do that, those physical survival instincts are manifesting in, impulsivity and, excessive shopping and the hypomanic type symptoms. And like, it's just really fascinating to think about how the survival instincts of nature combine with the societal whateverness of humans. And that's basically where you get struggles like what I have, where the body's in this survival mode and it's brilliant and it's beautiful, but it's not necessary for where we're at. And instead of it being helping us survive, it's maladaptive and it's put in the context of living in society, and it causes all these problems and mental health battles and things. But if I were in nature, I would be like the most amazing evolved species because I have all these amazing survival instincts that nobody else has. And so it's just very fascinating to think about everything from unique perspectives to provide an alternate viewpoint into the struggles taking place. So I'm gonna try to get more grounded. I could talk for days because that's what happens with flight parts present. Any other part of consciousness, I don't want to talk for days, but flight parts is just endless. And it's because my body's producing this energy and I don't need it to run. And so it's coming out and manifesting in other ways. And I just find that so thoroughly fascinating. Have a beautiful and blessed day, my brave, beautiful warrior soul friends. Thank you so much for choosing to join the Kristin Chronicles healing journey, a magical, miraculous healing journey of self-discovery, personal growth, and deep, soulful healing.